Reese Witherspoon was a Hollywood veteran by the time she entered Stanford in 1995. But the freshman wasn't ready to commit to a full-time acting career until she got an offer she couldn't refuse. Writer-director Robert Benton, who won Oscars for Kramer vs. Kramer and Places in the Heart, called Reese about a new project. It featured 3 Academy Award-winning actors.
He wanted me to do this film that he was doing called Twilight with Paul Newman and Susan Sarandon and Gene Hackman, and I was like, all right, when do you want me there?
Quality of material that was coming to her, the kind of actors she was going to work with, the kind of role, the directors, that's hard to say no to.
Witherspoon left Stanford to focus on her chosen profession. She took work very seriously, but the teenager did manage to have a social life.
She's not somebody who drank and did drugs and slept around. That was, she was a conservative Southern girl with good Southern values. But she had fun. We went dancing and clubbing a couple times, and we'd go out to dinner, and we'd go to movies and did all sorts of stuff. She was a normal girl.
By 1996, Reese appeared in several independent films that helped her expand and reshape her screen image. In Fear, Witherspoon was cast opposite another rising star, Mark Wahlberg. Between Reese's elite upbringing and Wahlberg's bad boy past, the 2 actors were as different as night and day, and north and south.
I'm a debutante from Tennessee, and he's sort of, a tough guy from Boston. A Yank and a rebel. What are you going to do?
Fear allowed Witherspoon to add a new genre to her resume.
I'd never done a thriller before. It was really a challenge to wake up in the morning, every morning, and say, I can't really have to go into work and scream a million times today, or get grabbed or thrown or tossed around. And it's like, wow.
But the most frightening part of the film for Reese was doing her first love scene.
And I feel like this incredible strength from having done it, and it's like overcoming like so many things in your mind and barriers, and I just sort of woke up in the morning and I gritted my teeth and I knew I could do it, and it happened, and it actually turned out really beautiful and really tasteful.
The passion didn't stop when the cameras did. Witherspoon and Wahlberg were an item off-screen as well. Reese's schedule didn't leave much time for romance. Her career was heating up, and she was working with some major Hollywood players. When Oliver Stone needed a tough leading lady for his film Freeway, Reese won the role by treating Stone just as the character would.
So I think if I had gone in there and been like, oh, Mr. Stone, would you please give me this part, and I'm not worthy, and please, I was just like, yeah, what do you want? You want me to do the movie, I'll do the movie. If you don't want me to do the movie, I'm gone, all right? I've got other things to do. And that's the character.
Freeway was an adult variation on Little Red Riding Hood, about a cunning serial killer who preys on young women. As a teenage delinquent who takes on the big bad wolf, Reese delivered one of her most provocative performances.
I'm gonna kill you for that.
You just settle down, Bob.
Okay.
You just settle down right now. Drop that razor out the window.
The way she was able to depict this white trash gutter trick baby. I don't know how she knew that role, but she knew that girl.
I thought that she was spectacular, without a doubt, the woman to play the role. She did it. She's demure, she's small, she looks like a southern belle, acts like one, but out of her mouth comes the toughest language. She doesn't flinch when she says it. She's a ballsy woman, and she's hot.
Despite appearing in back-to-back thrillers, off-screen, Reese was anything but a damsel in distress. More like a supportive big sister.
We met on a freeway, and I was going through a very hard time breaking up with a boyfriend. And she's like, oh, come home with me, let's go. She's a great friend, completely supportive.
Reese herself had been boyfriend-free for a while. After Mark Wahlberg, she was briefly linked to actor Chris O'Donnell. As her 21st birthday approached, Reese was unattached, but all that changed at her birthday party. Reese gathered friends together for a bash that combined Southern hospitality with Hollywood glamour. It was the blowout of a lifetime, and not just because of the cake. Actor Ryan Phillippe didn't know Reese, but he showed up at the party with a friend. When Ryan and Reese laid eyes on each other, it was love at first sight.
They meet, and there's just this instant chemistry. And I think Ryan even makes a crack at one point that he came for the free beer and left with a whole lot more. At the time, she wasn't the big, huge celebrity that she's become. If anything, Ryan was a little more well-known.
After getting his start on the TV soap One Life to Live, Ryan was making the leap to motion pictures. The day after Reese's party, he flew east for a film shoot. But that wasn't an obstacle for these two.
He left to go make I Know What You Did Last Summer, and We talked on the phone and communicated through letters and sent each other books and things like that. So we had a really nice sort of courting period where we really got to know who each other were.
Soon, Reese and Ryan became Hollywood's new it couple.
Reese and Ryan were like any other late teenagers, totally in love, all over each other, making goo-goo eyes at each other. And it's interesting, they're kind of still that way now, and it's refreshing to see them together.
Reese had found her steady off-screen, but on-screen, the star wanted to push herself in new directions. In 1998, Witherspoon introduced audiences to her comedic side in Pleasantville.
My character is very superficial and very surface, and also very defined by her sexuality. And of course, in 50s television, there is no sex. There's no such thing.
It's a sexual character, but it's not this overtly exploitive, sexy character because Reese Witherspoon is smart enough to give her depth and to give her humor.
Meanwhile, Reese's relationship with Ryan Phillippe continued to flourish. After a romantic getaway to Charleston in December 1998, Reese returned home with a diamond ring and a Hollywood news flash. The couple was engaged. Coming up.
I was sobbing so hard I just hauled off and hit him.